guys, what is going on? Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Deborah with Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is my channel, Purusha Intuitive. So I really appreciate you tuning in. Definitely subscribe, check out our videos if you are new to the channel. I drop content every day around holistic healing, mind, body, soul, spirit. So I wanted to talk about this concept today about everything is energy, right? In modern world, we are taught to look at the physical and really not much further beyond that. You know, we forget that energy is what makes up our universe. Everything is vibrating, everything is alive. If you are into research and study, quantum physics definitely corroborates this 100%. And it's so amazing the deeper the layers peel back and we see how it truly is as the microcosm, so the macrocosm, right? As above, so below, as within, so without. And I think this is such a profound and powerful concept to understand, especially when it comes to our health and wellness. If we look at things, what I love about Ayurveda is it really grasps this concept that everything in creation that is manifest, physical, in front of our eyes is comprised of the 5 elements, right? Ether, air, fire, water, earth. And it allows the system, the understanding of healing, of wellness, to become very easily grasped. Because when we look at things through that concept of their elements, what kind of energy, right, they embody, whether it's dense and hardy like earth energy, like a rock, like mud, or to something incredibly light like air, right? The clouds, you know, whatever example you want to use. I think it really helps us kind of understand our physiology in a very simplistic way, you know? I've heard it said oftentimes, if you follow the law, especially the law of attraction school of thought, that like attracts like, which, side note, quantum physics has proven bosons of a feather flock together. Look it up, fermions and bosons. So like attracts like, right? And when we think about it in that way, then we can understand that what we're drawing in, what we're bringing into our body is what we need to essentially put out, you know? If we are, you know, parched, if we're dehydrated, if there's too much fire in our body, then we need to cool it down. And coconut is a great product to do it. Hence coconut water, right? We've all heard how incredibly hydrating it is. It's incredibly cooling for the body. It's cooling for what Ayurveda terms as pitta. Pitta is one of the 3 sub-doshas. So Ayurveda looks at the 5 elements like I just listed, and then those get broken down into 3 sub-doshas, which basically embody everything in this world, you know? And then we as individuals, our constitution is made up of different percentages of those doshas. And that's how we, you know, get our, what Ayurveda terms as our prakriti, or our, you know, physical, like what we're born into the world with. Obviously, as a side note, depending on our environment, our lifestyle, those things can definitely mess with our doshas. But the cool thing is, when we tune into our body and we say, hey, I'm feeling too much heat, I need to cool this down. You know, maybe I need something that has a higher electrolyte content, or something that will easily and naturally go into my bloodstream to kind of cool it down, remove toxins, etc. Then we can understand what are better options for us, you know? Obviously, it does take some learning. Like, I think awareness is the key 100%. And the best self-referral you have is your own body, right? Your own physiology. We are taught to disconnect. We're taught not to listen to our wants and needs. We're taught to actually listen to our desires. I think wants and needs are different, right? It's what our body needs to thrive, to be healthy and well, which truly aligns us with happiness and fulfillment, versus our desires, which is more indulgent, right? Which is modern world, fast food on the go, everything possibly created, known to man, you can get processed, packaged, frozen, whatever. Think about the grocery store and how small of a section the produce area is, It's just, I was at I won't shame the store, but I was at a bigger, one-stop shop the other day, and just this wall of cheeses, and it was all just heavily processed, things added to that our body doesn't specifically need, right? And not that it's bad, we can process it. Obviously, we're a thriving human culture on some levels, but it's also changing our physiology and changing the way that we interact with our environment, our ability to ward off disease, sickness, illness. I think the pandemic shed so much light onto this, right? With a virus that is a lot more intense, that can easily attack more people, etc. It can be a very scary thing, very post-apocalyptic, right? But I think that when we can take a step back and when we can kind of tune in to what our body wants and needs and address, feed it accordingly, surround ourselves with those things accordingly, again, that's where we find true health, true well-being, true happiness and fulfillment. And so that's why I love Ayurveda, because it really encourages you to pursue what is your individualized medicine, right? It's known to be specific for who you are, your physiology, your constitution. It doesn't matter what works for me. Yeah, we might have some things that work for us the same, but it's definitely going to affect you different than it affects me, because we're two different people. We have two different constitutions. We're made up of different elements, etc. And Ayurveda is all about enlivening that consciousness. Okay, so lots of, great information, I'm sure you think at this point. But what do we practically do with it, I think, like I said, it's awareness about yourself. That's the hugest thing. Your physiology is going to naturally reject anything that does not sit well with it, So if you smell something and it's then not to go there, right? Or every time you eat that hot pepper, it messes with your digestion. It makes, think of it. So hot pepper, that's fire. That's going to increase your digestive fire within your being. What Ayurveda terms as Agni. Agni is what transforms, right? We ingest environment, food, whatever it may be. And then our Agni is the fire and the water element that work together in harmony in order to transform those substances into nutrients. And when that is out of whack, when we either have way too much fire, it's burning through everything, or not enough fire that everything's sitting, nothing moves, that's not fun, Obviously, if we can't hold on to nutrients, that's going to affect us on a physical level, eventually resulting in disease. If we hold on to too much, that's going to affect us in different ways, right? The blockages, the way things build up in our channels and can have obviously a very negative impact. So I love being able, like I said, to kind of think about it in that value of the 5 elements and how they break down into our doshas. If you want to do a little deeper research, I'm working to build content, so it will come. But it kind of just helps us navigate, right, a little bit easier. And I wanted to kind of talk about how Ayurveda looks at those 5 elements within our body, right? Because they each manifest in different areas. So that air, that ether is, our head realm, right? It is our brain. It is actually kind of where we take in what Ayurveda calls as prana. I'm sure you've heard that word before. It's the breath of life, right? So we breathe it into our nose, and mind you, whatever we breathe in goes straight to our brain. Sometimes we don't think of that, right? But whatever we're breathing in, that has the opportunity to, attach onto the mucous membranes and surpass the blood-brain barrier, right? And that obviously will affect our mental, our emotional, and therefore our physical, and how we're processing that information. Yes, we can eat something that's going to go down, but the prana, the ether, is what goes, through our nose and into the brain. So then that air is actually, like I just mentioned, the mouth, right? The throat chakra, the vocal cords, where we breathe in and it moves the movement downward. The fire is obviously in our stomach. That is the seat of Jathar Agni, what Ayurveda calls as our digestive fire, which moves down into the water, which is where our intestines are located. And then the earth, where we have kind of our root chakra, all the stuff we, end up that we don't want to look at or that we're trying to push out of our being. That's where that earth energy is, in that lower part of our anatomy around our buttocks area. And it's a lot of our, our pelvic bone, like our structure, our cartilage is what that earth energy deals with. It's under the kapha dosha. So kapha is what builds and constructs. It is comprised of water and earth energy. And so just as well as I do, if you have too much earth energy, it's going to be too rock hard, right? If you have too much water, it's going to be like liquid mud, And that's where we have to work to find those balances so that we are having a healthy kapha or healthy tissue and structure, enough lubrication for our joints, etc. So again, practically, how can you apply this information? Ayurveda talks about different qualities. The 20 gunas is what it's called specifically, if you want to check it out. But there are 20 different qualities that are present in everything, right? In all of the elements. And it talks about, like I was saying, that heat, what do we do with heat? We cool it down, right? So it's that value that, if something is, like I said, out of balance, out of whack, you're going to want to utilize the opposite quality in order to bring it into harmony. But remember, too much of the opposite quality can also push you the other way. So it is this beautiful synchronistic dance of learning to tune into our body, what our body is asking us, paying attention. What am I eating? What am I ingesting? What is in my environment? What am I listening to, etc.? How does this make me feel? And then if I'm feeling off balance, thrown off kilter, etc., how do I bring that back into balance? And this is so invaluable, especially this time of year when we are around a lot of different people, places, and things. And there's so much going on. There's a lot of overstimulation. So we have to find those ways to kind of navigate. And the more balanced we are, the more grounded we're going to be, right? If you want to be more grounded, especially the winter months are great for like root vegetables, potatoes, sweet potatoes, winter squashes, pumpkin, etc. Things like that that give us that kind of stability. Anything that grows under the ground, carrots, parsnips, you know, those are going to be the things that help ground us a lot more. But if you think about it, they still have that embodiment of water energy. You know, yeah, they're grounding, but they're still giving us that softened component. That's why whole foods are so valuable. I know it's not fun to cook. I know, or you're probably cooking way more than you want to this holiday season. And I think I'm planning on doing some cooking videos, but that's for the future. You know, but I think, like I said, just play around with it. You know, you don't even have to like have a plan or an agenda going into it or know all the right answers. Just when you're at, you know, we're all eating a bunch of food this holiday season. So when you're at dinner, just reflect on, how is this affecting me? You know, eat something, wait a few minutes, see how your body reacts, etc. Does this feel like this is going to process well, or is this going to be like, you know? And then obviously there are certain things that it's just harder on the digestive system. It doesn't make those food groups bad, in my opinion. I believe, to the best of your ability, high quality, organic, wherever possible. You know, I do believe in high quality product. I will say that. That's my one disclaimer that I won't budge from. You know, but if we kind of reflect back on how it processes with our body, does it enliven us? Does it give us energy? Does it make us feel like, yeah? Or is it something that puts us in food coma? You know, food coma. Yeah, food coma. Or, you know, completely makes our mind all fuzzy, brain fog, you know. Just pay attention. And that is going to be the beginning, right, of healing that for you, right? Ayurveda believes anytime we put intention on something, it is going to heal, right? It's depending on whether it's positive or negative intention. But if we put positive intention towards health, towards well-being, on a place in our physiology, that actually ignites our physiology towards that healing, you know? And so when we have a concept of the 5 elements, how they manifest in our body, where they manifest in our body, the way that they dance with our physiology, it makes it so simple to give our body exactly what we need. So I hope this helped navigate the holidays for you. Definitely stay tuned. I'm working to build content up as best as I can. I love what I'm doing. I really appreciate the love and support, the time and energy. I'm wishing you so many blessings. Stay tuned. Like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. If you are interested in me looking at your personal situation, I would totally love to support in whatever way possible. Definitely check out my services and what I offer. Otherwise, hope to see you back soon. Lots of love and blessings always. Thank you.